Yo, what up, YouTube? You might be thinking, hey, Shotgun Shogun looks like he's wearing that Snorlax hoodie from the Patch Notes video, and that's because because I'm recording both of these at the same time. It's 6:52 a.m. here on the East Coast in Ohio time. I don't know where you're at, but everywhere is 6:52. Technically, because that's where I am right now. Anyways, we're gonna be looking at Ran. I've been hyped for him since I saw him come out. Well, saw him teased anyways, but they did announce him, and they're gonna have no chill, and he's coming out faster than his speed. But let's take a look at what we've got here.
Win or lose,
this is really loud.
is determined in an instant. If you won't step back,
Just to my blade.
I'll slash your justice in two.
If you don't step back, I'll slash your
Seems
justice
that you
in
need
two.
my help.
All right, so Ice Thief male, he's really, really hot. Like, he should be a water unit, not just ice. He's a water unit because sploosh. This dude is coming from the One Piece Zoro school of thought. How many swords do you have? Yes, exactly. You know what? This guy was like, hey, you know what? If I get disarmed by one of my swords, I got 4 more swords. Another fucking sword. Easy. Like, oh no, I lost this sword. I don't care. I got 4 more. Suck it. Anyways, we're going to be looking at his skill kit here in a second.
I'll try to meet your expectations.
Okay, you've met all of them.
과거 나탈론 북부에 있던 테라나드가 수많은
So at some point or another, a shadow elf, I don't know what those are, and a Suin got together and banged. And I'm just saying, if either of his parents are as hot as he is, I can understand knocking boots in the middle of a war and creating this dude right here. Let's.
소국으로 갈라져 전쟁을 치를 때 그림자의
Yeah,
성과
buddy.
수인 사이에서 태어난 혼혈입니다.
Now, one thing to point out here, right? So he is an Ares Ice Thief. Very, very good into the current meta of Violet and Landy. Very, very solid pick into Violet. Who's going to kill him? He's just going to be like, he's going to matrix it. He's going to matrix that S3 and just hot dumpster this dude. But we'll talk about that in a minute.
하지만 곧 부모를 잃고 인간들의 지하 검투장에 팔려가
So shortly after, he lost his parents and he was sold to a dark stadium striving to survive. Okay. Where did he go to the store and he's like, yo, where did my parents go? Bruh, I lost them. Shit, now I'm sold.
생사를 건 전투를 치르며 성장하는데요. 그곳에서 자신과
So here's the big teaser from this one. Everybody thought that this was MLK Ron. Everyone's like, yo, dog, that's MLK Ron right there. I'm like, this guy looks fucking sweet. And they're like, yeah, that's MLK Ron. Nah, man, this is Zahak. I don't know who Zahak is, but hey.
스탄 처지인 자하크를 만나 친구가 되고 그를 뛰어넘기 위해 여러 자루의 검을 쓰는 검수를 연마합니다. 이후 요괴들이 일으킨 대전쟁에 참여해
All right, so we got all kinds of
수호자가
swords.
되지만
Now, here's one of the things that I really wanted to see with this dude is I wanted him to use different swords for different things, right? Like I wanted him to have multiple abilities. Like I wanted maybe his S3 to be like elemental neutral. And he would just pull out a different sword for a different thing. That was kind of something that I
가장
wanted.
소중한 존재를 잃게 되고 나탈론을 떠납니다. 오랜 시간 여러 대륙을 떠돌며 무언가를 찾는 란. 별다른 소득이 없던 차에 테라나드가 여름의 검을
So he hears a winter sword has been taken, and he's got to go get it back.
과거의 약속을 지키기 위해 나탈론으로 돌아갑니다.
Okay, now let's talk about this unit. Okay, so his defense is garbage, but his speed's fast. Yeah, he's super fast. 129 is pretty quick, I believe, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Kron acid range is 131. I think 131 is the fastest. I don't play speed, bro. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure 129 is like a step down from the fastest. Acid is 128. Okay, thank you, chat. Wait, does this makes him faster than Acid? Okay, fantastic. But imprint concentration is attack. His normal imprint is effect resist. That's kind of doo-doo, honestly. What does that bring? 14.4% effect resist to everybody on the team. I feel like I'm going to definitely use him in a tank team with effect resist. I'll probably use his imprint to give effect resist to my ML Ken. You know, very, very solid team-wide effective, you know, imprint here. Nobody's going to use that. Literally zero people are going to use that. If you get an imprint for him, you're going to instantly concentrate that so that you get that attack percent, because nobody's going to look at 14.4 effect resist and be like, that's a thing I need on my team, considering that this guy is super fast. He's going to be an initiator. Yeah, he's got critical hit chance in his kit, so that'll make him a little bit easier to build in terms of damage. All right, skill introduction here. Okay, so this is going to be his skill 2, and this is going to be mental focus. This is on a 5 to 4 turn cooldown. Grants immunity to all allies for 2 turns before increasing attack of the caster for 2 turns. Grants an extra turn to the caster. Now, you can use Politis to trigger this. Celine is going to be really good into this. Similar to like you know, the Tomoka situation. Now, immunity to all allies for 2 turns is pretty good, and considering this dude is fast, he's got his Nikes on. If I were actually editing this, I would put in the image of the dude who's just like, yo, I'm fast as fuck, boy, you know. So this is going to be pretty solid. You know, immunity is important. If you have him, if you're speed racing with him, you don't even need to bring immunity sets, bro. He's got you covered. Basket will have 2 chances to proc on him, thanks to the S2, yes. Which we'll talk about Basket, and we'll talk about his artifact. Also confirmed, same speed as Kron at 129. Okay, so as you can see there, you do push up Politis, or as Politis will trigger her S2 here, but you've got debuff immunity, so that's pretty solid, right? No Abyssal Crown is going to hit you, nothing like that. But you do have to watch out for Celine's here. You do have to watch out for Celine's. Okay, so we're gonna go into S3, and this is going to attack all enemies with a sword, dispelling 2 buffs before an 80% chance to inflict stigma for 2 turns, and an 65% chance to decrease defense for 2 turns. This grants him skill nullifier once. Damage dealt increases proportional to the caster and the target's speed. You can soul burn this as well for the ignore effect resist. Now you're going to get another 20% on here, so that is going to be a 100% chance to inflict stigma and a 60, 70, 85% chance to decrease defense for 2 turns. Now this is going to make him a really solid opener. Bringing some sort of book on your team, he's going to ignore effect resist, so you don't even need to bother with effectiveness. Now stigma, which was tried out on the 3-star, this is going to decrease the amount and amount recovered and combat readiness by 50%. This is going to be really, really big, because that's going to mean things like Elena aren't going to push forward. That's going to mean things like, well, if you can land it on Landy, not going to push forward. Politis is going to, well, Politis already pushed forward with her S2 when you used your S2, so that doesn't really matter much at all. But there's a lot of combat readiness manipulation, so this is going to be pretty interesting to see how this works out. Don't have to worry about immunity, because he's going to soul burn and dispel that, but you are going to have to worry about 15% check twice. Or no, you're not going to have to worry about 15% check twice, because it's going to ignore effect resist, but you are going to have to worry about 15%. Doesn't even matter, because you only have an 85% chance to defense break here. 100% chance for stigma. Easy. But the thing too is, remember how I was like, oh, Violet's just going to counter this guy and end his entire career. Well, that's why he's got skill nullifier. They thought about this one, right? They were like, oh yeah, no, everyone will just use Violet and then just hot dumpster him. But not going to matter, because, well, I mean, you'll have skill nullifier. It's not going to help you out the next time around, you know, when Violet gets a turn. But here's the other thing is, you know, you're going to be on a 4-turn cooldown, right? I don't know how much damage he's going to do, because we don't have the modifiers until he comes out, and I don't like to trust the videos, right? Because we don't know what kind of gear that they have, but we're going to see how much damage this does. Here's the other problem though too, is chances are people aren't going to build him with any of effect resist, and Bellion stops that. Now you're going to have to ban Bellion if you're going to try to use him as some sort of opener, but as it comes with an initiator opener, he is very strong. Now the downside of using him as an initiator opener is that this move right here, unless you are using like a C-Dom, which I can't imagine anybody letting you have this dude and a C-Dom, as he doesn't push anybody forward. So unless you're bringing this guy, another CR pusher, a C-Dom, or fast damage dealers, which if he does land defense break is something that, you know, can easily, you know, make it so a speedier DPS can take out a unit without having to really build a ton of damage. There's a lot of things. I think that his S3 though is like, there's a lot in this. There's a lot in this.
찰나의 검경. 발도술로 적 전체를 공격하여 강화 효과를 2개 해제한 후 최대 85% 확률로 2턴 자신에게 스킬 데미지 무효.
So we're going into Rem, Politis, Charlotte, and FCC. This means that there is mitigation on the field, and he's going into a shield, right? So we'll look at how much damage he does here.
자신과 대상의 속도에 비례해 피해량이 증가합니다. 소울 20개 사용 시
Okay, so through a shield, through Arius, he does about 7,300 to the FCC. Now, the other thing here is that he does inflict stigma, and he did defense break a couple of these units, right? Now that's gonna make it really easy to follow up. on a lot of things here. So it doesn't necessarily tell you, like I said, I hate using these videos because we do not know what kind of gear that this guy has. So right now, I could be literally any other YouTuber and be like, yo, this unit's damage is garbage. Look, he only did 7,300 damage. He's the savior of Cleave, and he only did 7,300 damage. Literally, don't even bother pulling this guy because he's dog shit. Like, I don't even understand his kit, and you know, just don't pull for him because he's going to be impossible to gear. And I, as a master player in RTA, have a huge opinion on this. But yeah. So until we know the actual modifiers, which, let's be real, most people don't even know what modifier numbers actually mean, so they'll probably say the same thing right afterwards. I don't think that he's meant for damage, but realistically, this is going to soften up a lot of targets for like a follow-up Charles, or, I mean, you wouldn't pick Pavel into Charlotte and Politis, but maybe you do. I don't know. The other nice thing here too is if you're running Stigma, if you land Stigma on like a Ravi or a Charlotte or anybody who pushes themselves forward, it's like ghetto restrict. Boom. Right? So but it doesn't matter because Rem is going to counter you anyways.
1스킬 격풍.
Okay, so Tempest is going to be his S1, your basic thing. Your basic attack here attacks the enemy with a sword storm. This is going to have 20% defense pen on it immediately. Now, this means you put him in a counter attack set. Anytime that somebody has something on their S1, be it CR push or defense pen or life steal or a skill, somebody somewhere is going to be like, bro, counter set is the play on this. Just think about it, man. Like, he's already got skill nullifier on his S3. If you put him in a fucking counter attack set, dude, that's just gonna devastate everything, bro. Like, he's got 20% pen, man. Like, put that counter life steal. I know that they're both 4-piece sets, but fuck it, dude. Put them both on him, man. He's got 5 swords. You think he can't have 2 4-piece sets? Bro, this guy is toting around 5 whole ass swords. Just give him both life steal and counter attack. Dude, easy life, man. But no, this is going to be pretty good. Some people are going to be like, well, put pen on him. Does it stack? His S1 is not what he does. I think that you're gonna not want to really worry too much about that. Now his follow-up damage is probably going to be pretty good. We're going to take a look here in a hot second. But yeah, 20% pen. I think that this will actually be good and I think that they needed to put this on here because he's going to be kind of wet noodle hitting if you're running a super massive speed. Like, I'm not too worried about like a 310 speed Assassin Sid, right? Because he's going to hit like a wet noodle. This reduces the wet noodleness.
검기를 날려 적을 공격합니다. 대상의 방어력을 20% 관통합니다. 자신의 속도에 비례해 피해량이 증가합니다.
Okay, here's my biggest criticism. Here's my biggest criticism with Ran. That S1 looks like shit. Amazing S3. Even his S2 looks good. Look at this. Look at this. This looks like shit.
자신의 속도에 비례해
Absolute.
피해량이 증가합니다.
What does he do? He just yeets a thing at you. Not even like real cool at all. Like, this looks so dumb. This looks so dumb.
자신의 속도에 비례해 피해량이 증가합니다.
He just like winds up and he's just like, huh. This is really, really disappointing S1. Like, Maid's S1 looks better. Pavel's S1 looks better. He has so many swords. And that's what we get? That's just like me, like, throwing a... So stupid looking. So stupid looking. It does do... Hold on. But here's the thing, right? Now, people are going to be like, oh, okay, you know, you did 6158 on an FCC. FCC's pretty thick. I mean, I guess that's okay damage. Again, I don't think that he's... What are all the rest of these swords for? He's got so many swords. So many swords. And he doesn't use them. Bullshit design. Even Angel Angelica has a better S1. Yes. This is the in the balance patch that's going to come out this week. They need to change that. All right, let's talk about this artifact. Okay, so when I first saw this, it was 6 in the morning, dude. First off, I'm not very good at paying attention to shit in the first place when it's like the middle of the day. So I saw this and I'm like, when using a non-skill, it has a 100% chance to remove 15 souls from the enemy. I don't fucking care. Whatever, dude. I'm not going to use this. I saw afterwards, because on the live stream, they go through things really, really fast, that it increases your attack by 15%, which is good because a flat 15% with like an attack buff, not that he's, you know, you get the attack buff, so that is going to supplement your damage as well, right? Now, you can use like Violet's Talisman to give yourself at least like a little bit of evasion. You're going to stack up the increased attack a little bit faster because of your S2 into S3 as well. This isn't terrible. Now, one of the things that kind of sucks about this is that you have to have this maxed out in order to have a 100% chance to remove these 15 souls from the enemy. I mean, 15% attack itself is nice. I feel like there's other things, right? You can bring Gab, you can bring Basket, 2 chances to get greater attack. There's just a lot of other things, but I think that this is okay. I think this is all right. 15% flat attack, even when you just pull it at 15, and then a 50% chance. I think the secondary effect is what it is, right? So, would it be worth if this artifact stole souls rather than remove them? 100%. Yeah, if you stole 15 souls, yeah, that would be great. The other thing here to think about too is if you use this, like, let's say you build him as like a more of a support character. Like, let's talk, like, think about support Cerise, right? If you can cycle with him, this isn't just an initial, like, right out of the gate, like, you can only remove 15 souls one time. If you can cycle him with this, you can steal souls more, or you can remove souls more often. But you're going to want to have, if you're going to try to do something like cheeky like that, you would want to have this 100%. Also, this should be sort of the Winter Soldiers, so that we could have like a Marvel crossover with this. I do think that there's better options.
15% 증가합니다. 공격이 아닌 스킬 사용 시 최대 100% 확률로 적의 소울을 15개 제거합니다.
So there you go.
비밀을 품은 고독한 방랑자.
Like look at that. Like his S3 is so good. So aesthetic right there. S1 garbage. S1 looks like shit.
10월 14일부터
Actual doo-doo.
만나실 수 있습니다.
He does play a flute. How is he sitting with all those swords, man? How's he sitting with all those swords? That does it. I guess he's on a stool, right? It's not an actual chair. So I guess that makes sense. I answered my own question because they're bar stools, so he can sit on that. Ross does not look impressed by his music in the slightest. Like, look at that dead face. Anyways, let's take a look at what options we can bring up here. Let's go to journal. Embarrassment. Look, I have 99% because I don't have ML Charles. Sag. Let's look at thief artifacts real quick. You know what would be another... Yo! His S2, S3 would give him multiple opportunities to use R and L. Multiple R and L opportunities. That could be big because those stack up. You ever seen a Baiken take like 20 turns? Eh? Just saying. Just saying. Alexa's Basket, I do think will be the better opportunity here. If you have a maxed out Violet's Talisman will be better than his artifact, because if you S2 into S3, that's going to give you a 20% increase attack and 20% evasion. And then you only have to have one more turn. Boom, done. So this is a much better option than his if you're not worried about the souls, right? Done. Let's see. Wow, actually you don't have some of these. I do think though that is probably your better options. You could potentially use Sword of Summer Twilight for his S3 for more defense pen, but again, I don't think that the defense that he's built for damage really. So I think that RNL, Alexa's Basket, Violet's Talisman are likely the plays for him. I don't really think you need to worry about Moonlight Dreamblade. Yeah, I think those are going to be Yeah. I think those are the play. God, this is so bad. Why is this an artifact? 50% chance to increase speed for one turn at the end of the caster's turn. Just say portrait and call it a day. But I don't think he's built for damage. I think that he is this initiator support character. Now let's talk about how to counter him. So I think that ways to counter him, right? Obviously, your Celine. C Zerato would be good. Because you're going to be punting those, just going to be punting them back. Now, granted, you're going to be punting back into debuff immunity, but I think that you're still going to be able to do some damage, right? potentially knock the skill nullifier off of him. But the biggest thing here is that he doesn't CR push, right? He doesn't really do much. Whereas like a flan, right, you can defense break them and then you CR push somebody else up. He does not do that. So without some sort of secondary initiator, without CDOM, without some sort of push, as long as you can draft somebody else fast, like let's say you're not speed contesting him, but let's say you draft, a Pavel. Let's say you draft a Pavel. Let's say you draft like a fast Landy. Let's say you draft, some faster single target nukes. He's not really going to have much to follow up on, right? He doesn't put debuff unbuffable on you, so a fast C-Armin can shut everything down. So you have to bring him plus like a Pavel or something like that. You're gonna have to like speed race your whole team with this dude in order to follow up, right? I can see him and Pavel working really, really well together. His S3 into swimsuit Assyria S2. There's your push. That's, yeah. And I think that it'll be interesting to see the teams that come around with this guy. Just the fact that his S3 can be soul burned for ignore effect resist is really, really big. And I think that there is a lot of options here. We'll see if this guy is the savior of Cleave. I don't know. I mean, am I going to be pulling for him? Absolutely. Because he's hot. Do I have speed contestation gear? No. No, I do not. Not at all. But we'll see what he gets. He'll be out tomorrow, so I'll definitely be pulling. Can't you use Angelica? I mean, as long as you're faster, you could potentially use her right afterwards. Yes. There's a lot of things that you could do with that. But as long as you can follow up, he himself doesn't really do a ton, right? Because his damage output on his S3 was just not really super huge. It didn't feel anyways. Because if you have any sort of mitigation, like we showed in the video right there, that even elemental advantage onto like the Charlotte, stuff like that, if there was any sort of mitigation, it just didn't really do it. But anyways, YouTube, that's it for me. Let me know how you guys feel in the comment section. And we'll be trying him out, I guess. Anyways, I will catch you guys on the next one. Take it easy, homies. Peace.